Okay guys, so a frequently asked question that comes up a lot is around creatine. It's essentially, what is creatine? And I also get asked a lot, should we take creatine when cutting? And I'm going to talk through both these points in this video so you've got a little bit more clarity on what it is and how to use it. So creatine as a supplement is available in different forms. The most popular and well researched of it is creatine monohydrate. Now, you don't tend to hear a lot about it in marketing and sort of articles and stuff like that nowadays because it's such a well researched supplement that it's not very sexy. It's a bit boring, but it is very much proven to be hugely beneficial to most of us. So what creatine does, it's a supplement that basically increases the concentration of our intramuscular phosphocreatine stores. What that helps to do is it increases the phosphate donor or the availability of free phosphate donors to increase our ability to produce fast acting energy. So it can improve performance, it can improve explosive capabilities, it can improve our perception of fatigue and strength in lower rep movements. What it also does by a mechanism of effect, creatine is a osmolyte, or it has an osmolytic nature. By essence, what that means is when creatine moves into a muscle, it takes water with it, so it increases the cell volumization of the muscle it's moved into. Now, that isn't a bad thing. So what that means is that the intramuscular concentration of water is changed and we have a higher percentage of water in our muscles, inside of our muscles, which in itself can be anabolic for our muscles and help with sporting performance and improving strength, but will also, from a aesthetic point of view, make our muscles look fuller and bigger. It also, by effect, will increase our lean body mass percentage, as water is classified as lean body mass, which all in turn can help reduce fat mass when paired with training and correct nutrition. So that is what creatine is. In terms of, and that has been, creatine monohydrate has been shown to load and store intramuscular phosphocreatine stores 100%. So you can't get any better than it. So there's no need to try and find a fancy new method of creatine. Creatine monohydrate is pretty much the gold standard of what we want, and it's recommended to be taken in around 3 to 5 grams a day. Some would recommend a loading phase, others may not. Now, there is no real difference long term whether you use a loading phase of potentially 20 grams a day for 5 days, then drop down to 3 to 5 grams a day, or you just go in at 3 to 5 grams a day, because the effect of creatine is accumulative, so it's not instant. So if you took creatine for the first time today, it likely would not have any sort of effect on your training, but the accumulation of taking it daily over time is when it starts to positively influence our training and body composition, lean muscle mass, everything like that. So the loading phase initially would just speed that process up to see some sort of positive results quicker. On the flip side of that, loading with creatine at 20 grams a day can cause digestive upset in people. So if you have a sensitive digestion or a less than optimal gut health, and you know that digestion is already a pre-existing issue for you, then going in and supplementing with it 3 to 5 grams a day would probably be ideal. Even potentially splitting that down to 2 servings of 2 grams a day. So you're still getting your 3 to 5 grams, but you're splitting it even smaller, so it has no effect on digestion, or very, very little effect on digestion. So should we use creatine when cutting? Now, you'll typically hear people say no because it increases water retention. But we have to think about the end goal of cutting and how creatine works. Okay, so typically when we're cutting, we're trying to reduce our body fat in order to improve our body composition, look more muscular, look leaner, generally look a little bit better and a little bit, maybe not fuller, but because of the change in body composition of less body fat, our muscles by effect will look bigger and fuller. So with that in mind, we then think back to what creatine does, and it increases water retention, true, but it increases water retention in intramuscular stores. So it increases the cell volumization of our muscles. So it makes our muscles look bigger, which is surely beneficial for a cut, because it's going to make us look bigger and fuller through a cut. It's not going to hold water in extracellular places on top of the muscle and make us look smoother, because by what it is, it's an osmolyte, so it moves water into the muscle with it. So there's a huge benefit there. It's also potentially going to keep a anabolic status within the muscle when potentially, because of the nature of dieting and the calorie deficit, you may be in a catabolic state. So it's going to help you maintain the muscle mass you have. It's also going to, like we said before, increase your lean body mass percentage anyway, and by effect reduce your body fat percentage because of that. And it's also going to help where we would potentially normally see decrements to strength and training performance due to a deficit in dieting program or structure. It's going to help attenuate that by the positive benefits of creatine, of increasing strength, increasing our performance in the gym, making us feel better and look better. So from my point of view, and with that in mind, it makes total sense to supplement with creatine when dieting, because it's only going to make you look better, look fuller, perform better, and perform to a greater extent, and help ultimately change your body composition even more. So that is my take on creatine, what it is, and how we use it. And I hope you find that useful. I hope that gives you some clarity and maybe make you think twice of what you might have heard before this.